Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. What do you do when someone believes a lie? When someone believes a lie, and you know it's a lie, and they believe it, what do you do when someone believes a lie? Well, have you ever known someone who believed something that simply wasn't true? I mean, it's just not true, but they believe it. They believe it. And you're sitting back like, wow. I mean, we can see that all across America now. Just racism. That's believing something that isn't true. Not because they were unintelligent, no, because they were evil. Not because they were evil. Well, in some cases, they were simply convinced. And if you tried to tell them otherwise, they became angry. It's some people who really, 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 really believe that we don't belong in this country and we don't belong a part of America, and they believe about so many different things. But I'm talking about a specific lie in this case. So the person becomes angry and they cut you off. You ever try to tell somebody something and they cut you off before you can even get it out your mouth, and you know you have something logical to say to them, but they cut you off. And you're like, just give me a minute, just hear me out. But I don't know, you just can't get through to them. So what do? They attack you instead of listening. You could see the attack, you could hear it in their voice, you could see it coming. You go, oh my God, I don't want this attack, but I gotta say something. But then what do? You don't want to be attacked, so what do? We've all seen it in families. There's been families that stop speaking because they definitely, one believes one thing and one believes another thing, and all of us on this side know that that belief is a lie. It's the same way the lies that's going on in America now. Just people are convinced. I find it amazing. And in some cases, I do think it's just evil. But anyway, in families, in politics, in churches, in neighborhoods, in social media, oh my God, even in our own homes, you can say something and the person believes it, and you living in the house with them, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to let them believe that. Sometimes I just say, okay, go have at it. So number one, how do you do it? What do we do to get a person that really believes in something, really believes something is true, that everybody around the person knows it's a lie, but you cannot convince them? You don't want to lose friendship. You're just trying to figure out what to do. And so I don't know. I don't know. So first, I came up with me some answers. Don't attack the person, because if you attack them, that makes it worse. So don't attack the person. Attacking people rarely changes things. I mean, they hunker down for real. Then they'll go find some remote article, or go find some witness, or go find something. See, and you can't win that. So don't attack. Don't attack. So most people hear criticism as rejection because they think you're rejecting. And really, you're trying to say, I'm sorry, but I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, instead of saying you're wrong, try saying, help me understand how you came to that conclusion. Instead of saying you're wrong, say, help me understand how you came to that conclusion. How did you get to that answer? Oh my God. Help me understand how you came to that conclusion. What here made you say you believe that? Before you say all the things that you can hear that side and that side. By that time they're warmed up, and they want to talk about their belief, and they're ready to tell you all the points and the salient points, etc. ad infinitum. Okay? And so that's number one. Number two, plant a seed instead of trying to chop down the tree. If you try to chop down the tree, that's not going to work. But you can plant a seed, just a little something to make them go, Remember Arsenio used to say, something makes you go, So you got to plant a seed, all right? And truth often grows slowly. You may not change someone's mind today, but one thoughtful question, one fact, one personal story just might make the person say, I hadn't thought about that. Sometimes just your job is not to win the argument. Sometimes your job is to plant a seed. So I said plant a seed. You can't win the argument. Okay, so you don't argue, you plant a seed. Okay? You don't attack the person and you don't argue with them. You plant a seed. You ask them, how'd you come to that? Oh my goodness, okay. And then you plant some little kernel of truth that you know is true, that maybe they haven't thought about. Okay. Then the third thing, know when to walk away with love. I mean, sometimes you got to walk away with love. Every battle isn't yours to fight. You know, you have to choose your battles. People say that. That's for real. Choose your battles. If it's, let them win sometime. But you have to know how to walk away with love. There comes a point when you have spoken your truth respectfully. You had a conversation. You said A, B, C, and D. And the person has come back with E, F, G, and H. As in, hell no, I'm not getting ready to do anything other than what I believe. And there you are sitting there with egg all over your face, your clothes, your nice St. John suits. And you have to say, you know what? Okay. And just walk away. Walk away with love. Because you have to protect your peace also. And you can disagree without becoming disagreeable, but you got to protect your peace. Especially if you hammered it in, it hasn't gotten anywhere, and you don't want that fight. You don't want that. You don't want that karma. So you're like, you know what? I'm good with it. And remember, you cannot force someone to see what they have decided not to see. You can see. You know what they say? Ray Charles could see it, but they have decided not to see it. Once a person makes up their mind that they are not going to see it, then there you are sitting there like, you know what? They're not going to see it. Sometimes you have to let them find out the hard way, but you don't want to do that, especially if it's health reasons or financial reasons or, reasons pertaining to business. A business is going to be destroyed. A marriage is going to be destroyed. Something is going to be destroyed, and you're going to be the one to bring it down. You're like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And that's when you have to pray. History teaches us something remarkable. Many truths were once lies. Let me say it again. Many truths were once lies, and many lies were once acceptable as truth. Many lies was used to be true. Like enslaved people were ignorant, dumb, melanin, anybody with melanin and woolly hair, i.e., as in the Bible, anyway, was dumb and unintelligent and should be treated like animals, and they don't have any, all that, those were truths at one time, and they were lies. Mm-hmm. And so that happens, and that is why humility is important. Every one of us should have enough humility to say, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? I'm constantly telling you all the time, A, B, C, and D, and we all know you don't get it. Can you just sit back and say to yourself, maybe I'm wrong? I like white America to sit back and say, you know what? We were wrong. We're gonna start with the indigenous people, and we're gonna apologize ourselves forward, and we're gonna become more humane to one another, and we're gonna enjoy this earth as it stands now. We were wrong. Maybe I was wrong. You have to ask yourself that. What if I'm wrong? Anyway, because wisdom is not just proving we are always right. Wisdom is being willing to learn. So tonight I leave you with the question. When someone believes a lie, is your goal to defeat them or to help them discover the truth? When it's a lie, and it's a lie, and it's a lie, let's help people discover the truth. That's what we do as a people. We have let people alone. We're going on with our lives because we're going to help you discover the truth. At some point, you're going to turn around and say, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. And so help people discover the truth. However you think you can do that, that's a big difference in fighting it. Help them discover the truth, little kernels at a time, little seeds at a time. You know, it's not easy saying, even if you got this person, it's not going to be easy for the person to say, I was wrong. But such a big person it is when you say, I'm wrong. I've had to say it. You just have to say it sometimes. You know what? I do it around here. I say, you know what, y'all were right. I was wrong. And it makes a difference to the people who are receiving it, as well as to you, and what happens in the karma and in the energy, you see. So I hope you take what I said tonight about what we can do about a person who believes a lie when we know that it's not the truth. The one truth you do know is what? That I love you. I do. And there's nothing you can do about it.